Hello and welcome to another video by the Ministry of Miniatures, and today we're heading back to America, but this time we've turned back the clock and we are doing the American Revolutionary War, the American War of Independence. And here we are looking at the battlefield for today's battle. Let's have a closer look and see what we've got. So for today's battle we have got the British versus the Continental, and we have got the battle which is basically featuring Bolton Road. And as per previous battles, we've got Widow's Riley. There's Widow Riley there, trying to entice the troops. She's got the farm in the middle of the field. There's another one across Bolton Road. And Bolton's Road leads up to, is it Smythe's Small Holdings? There's also Lost Hope Church. So I don't know if you remember from previous battle reports, we had Last Hope. This time we've got Lost Hope. So there you go, you can see some churchgoers there. There are a number of hills. We've got the Geek Villain gaming mats. As you can see, we were able to put some hills underneath. And one of the key features is we've also got some some trees. So as you can see here, this is going to be a kind of difficult terrain. So any troops going through it will have to go into skirmish order. We've also got some fences which will offer some cover, as well as the fences around Smythe's Small Holding. So there we go, that's the battlefield for today. Down in the bottom corner here, we also have a river. That's not really going to play effect. And there's also a small swamp area which will just slow down and hamper the troops. Right, so for today's engagement, the British are trying a flanking manoeuvre. They are going to go past Widow's Riley up Bolton Road, and they want to remove the Continentals and get the flanking position on the main army. However, the Americans have got wind of this, and as you can see with the green tokens there, there's a possibility that they'll have deployment and will be set up ready to engage with the British. So it's going to be a slightly smaller battle, but the engagement's going to be quite bloody as the British try to push the Continentals back and the Americans tried to bravely hold against them. So let's get started and see what happens. Okay, so here we are. We have the British deployment. The commander, Kipling, is at the front leading his brave British across the field. On his right flank, I have got Fraser. He's a level 8 commander. Leading up front for him, he has got the Grenadiers. He's then also got some British line behind him. And he's got some British line that formed skirmish on this side. The little green squares are for first fire. And he also has a light artillery piece as well. So that's just here. Then on his left, he's got Hamilton, who is level 8. And he has 3 regular British line. Again, they've all got first fire. And an artillery piece. And just coming through the woods again, they've just formed a skirmish formation to get through the woods. And then lastly, Bear is leading my cavalry formation on this side. I've got 2 regiments of British cavalry. So there we go, that's the British force deployed. They need to get up and across the field and in the Continentals. So let's see where the deployment is for the Continentals. Okay, so let's have a look at the Americans and where they are and how they've deployed. So over
we can
to George.
start at Lost Hope Church. This is a militia brigade of 4 regiments. It is Harker's brigade. Harker is an 8. These guys are okay militia, but they're a bit fragile compared to regular troops. Then we have Grey Wolf commanding the Continental, well, American cavalry. We have like Lee's Legion at the back, and then we have a scratch unit of cavalry. They're very similar to the British. Slightly more fragile.
And Grey Wolf's a level 8.
Grey Wolf is a level 8, bless him. And then we have Holt's brigade, which has got 4 full-sized Continental regiments. And these are quite good troops. They are an even match for the British regular infantry, and they have first fire with the green markers as well, and a light battery which only has a range of 18 inches.
Okay.
General War Dog will be over here with the militia because he thinks they might need his help.
Yes, indeed. There we go. So that is the American setup. They are behind barricades, ready to receive the British, but we don't care. We're going to stick it to them and clear the way So let's go tally-ho and see what can happen.
Yeehaw!
This is where I need to put that meme. Have you seen it? Smiles in British.
Yes.
There's the red coat. Right, here we go. So Fraser's brigade moved up. I did a brigade order, advanced as far as they could, and they managed to get 2 moves up, and we're almost at the fence line here. Not quite so good with Hamilton's. I failed it and I had to do a re-roll, and then managed just to get 1 move up, but the brigade has moved all up together. The skirmishers, because they're going through the woods, are just moving at half speed, so they're just lagging behind a little bit. And then lastly, Bear, I gave him an order to move as a brigade as far as they could until they got to the edge of the wheat field there, but actually they just got the 1 order, so they've moved up in their lines, ready to take the flank on the field. And then with Kipling, I'm just going to move him up between these 2 brigades, so he's in a good position to command the British. So let's see what the Continentals do. Okay, the Continentals.
Right, okay. Well, the militia brigade, having to do a re-roll with one of them, but managed to push out the 2 regiments. I'm going to try and form a nice line to maximise firepower against the British, because I will need it. Just make them more vulnerable because they'll be in the open, but we'll see how that works out. In the cavalry brigade, which was here, rolled magnificently, and Grey Wolf is leading them in a manoeuvre right across the front of his own lines as they all cheered, waving their hats. Go get killed! And they're charging over here to face off with the British.
Take on the British.
So,
and then your other brigade just...
Other brigade
stood still.
Stood still, fired around at the cows.
Yes.
Just to get the range sorted.
Very good. So there we go. Back to the British. Okay, this is the end of the British turn. So Fraser on the right flank ordered his grenadiers and a brigade order, and we got a pretty good move. We've managed to get the skirmishers up here to form a shield across the side. The grenadiers are up against the fence with some regulars in support, and the cannon even managed to get up and get unlimbered. So we are all set to advance on Lost Hope Church on the next turn. Then the centre brigade, again a very good move. So I've managed to get the cannon up against the fence there. I've got some regulars who also managed to make the fence. The regulars that were at the rear have also managed to get into the same field, so they can move up and give some support. And then on this side, the regulars managed to get into this field. So as you can see, I'm hoping to find a nice British line across here, right in front of the face of the Continental Cavalry. And then, fearing the Continental charge, I've moved these guys in skirmish mode just up so that they can either enfilade or have some shooting at the cavalry if they come in. I've also got Kipling, the army commander, has moved up, so he's within 6 inches of both Hamilton and Bear, who did a brigade order, and they didn't like it. They failed completely, so they are just stood there waiting for the Continental Cavalry to come. So there we go, good move for the British. Let's see what happens now with the Continentals. Okay, so the first move from the Continentals, we've just stopped because they've got 1 move and they've managed to get around here, but because of the position of the regulars, the British line are able to get first fire on them. They were within 6. So I'm going to roll and fire from those regulars into the flank of those cavalry that have moved. So it is first fire, so I'm going to get 4 dice. And let's see what I need.
Agreed?
Yes, right. So I've got 4 dice. We're saying it's going to be 5s because there's the fence, they're moving cavalry. But hopefully I can get something on here to at least give them a little bit of a bloody nose. And I get 2 6s, so they're going to be disordered.
We needed to split fire, didn't we?
Yes.
So 1 on each.
Yes.
6 on them.
Yes.
So I've got to try and save those 6s. So with the front unit, no, and the rear unit, yes. So, but they are both disordered.
Very nice. That will do. And I removed my first fire. Well done, boys.
Bugger. So straight away, both disordered, and that unit has a casualty.
Grey Wolf. Sorry, mate.
Too keen. Too damn keen.
Okay, the Americans have moved, so let's start from Lost Hope Church. So first up, we have got The regiment on this side have just formed line, and then the regiment on this side again have just formed line. They are ready to receive. They want the British to come into that firing arc and get lots of shots on them. This side here, not really much. They've all just waiting for the British to advance. And then finally, the cavalry that moved forward had both got disordered from...
And hit with traversing fire from the British.
So they're kind of a bit stuck at the moment. Okay, George has just got one shot, which is from the cannon. He's going to fire at the unit here behind the fence, so it does slightly obscure them, but he's going to need 2 shots, needing 5s. Oh, look at that.
The all-important 6.
Yes, so I'm going to be disordered, and now I need to roll a 6 to save that. Come on, a 6. Yay! But I am disordered. It's the British. I'm laughing, you British again.
But they're a bit disordered.
They are a little bit. Very good. Right, now over to the British. Okay, with the British move, I was just getting my skirmishers here. I wanted them to form line and go up against the fence so I could go against the cavalry. But in true style, I generally roll high, and there we go. I've got a blunder. So let's see what happens.
Single die.
Likely to run away. 3.
Move to the left. The unit will attempt to move to a position to its own left, making one move into its own left quarter as far as it can go. If an enemy unit presents itself, the unit can charge. So it's sliding across to the left.
So there we go. I've just moved the 3 inches into the woods. They're now back in Keeper's Woods. There we go. So that was the blunder. Okay, so the end of the British turn. So on the right flank, Fraser has fluffed it. I tried to get these skirmishers into a line so that I could then start to engage and move up onto the Continentals, but he failed, and that was basically that brigade over and done with for their movement. The centre here, pretty much the same as you saw. I did a blunder with my skirmishers and they moved to the left here. So the whole of the brigade basically faltered. So they're just waiting there, they're in cover and they like it there and they don't want to move forward. However, the cavalry, led by Bear, did a full-on charge, tally-ho, off we go. And we've charged into Grey Wolf. So it's going to be a fight between the 2 patrons, Bear and Grey Wolf. So you are disordered, but you actually can do 1 volley at me.
Yes, we'll do the shooting first though.
Yes, okay, that sounds good. I think I've only got my cannons, haven't I?
Yeah, but they can
Let's
do it.
measure and see what I've got.
Sorry,
for
I should have just
5 or
gone
6. Okay, so first up I've got the cannon. He's just going to fire straight ahead.
5 or 6 because it's over half range.
It is over half range, so it's 1 dice needing a 5 or a 6, and I get a 2. So he's shot but missed. And then this cannon here is going to do exactly the same, but I'm just going to fire at the unit with the yellow flag.
And they're behind the thing, so you need a 6 this time.
Okay. And I've got a 6. Isn't that typical?
Boom! So
Have
you've
it.
disordered them, and I get to save, but it's got to be a 6 to save because it's... Oh, no, it's over half, so it's 5 or a 6.
I like the way this is going.
It's so predictable. So a casualty and disordered.
That's good. The cannon fire is starting to work, but I need to get my troops moving. They have moved pretty well, pretty fast, haven't they? They've got up there.
Certainly
They just
have.
need to get beyond that barrier and get up into the Continentals.
Okay, so they've got this charge here, and the charge reaction I would normally countercharge, but I'm not allowed to countercharge you because I'm disordered. The rules as written give these guys 1 dice of fire combat. You can still shoot when you're disordered. We are not 100% sure if they can fire anything from mounted, but we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are going to shoot over the heads of their horses 1 dice of closing fire, which will be 1 dice. Would normally need a 4, but it's at close range, so it's a 3. So 1 dice needing 3 or more. So I'm bound to miss.
You did.
Do you think I cursed myself?
Yes, you jinxed it.
Right, now, charging, combat. Did you talk it through?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so both of us will get 6 dice because that is our hand-to-hand rating. However, I did not charge, so I will not get a benefit for charging, and I am disordered, so I will get a -1, which means I will have 6 dice hitting on 5s. Whereas the British cavalry did charge, they will get a +1, so they will be hitting with 6 dice, hitting on a 3. So you roll your charging 6 dice.
Let's see. Come on, 3s. I got 3.
Ooh.
Not bad.
And I've got 6 dice hitting on 5s. So this time I'm going to come good.
Whoa.
Oh no!
No, for a second I thought you'd got 5 hits.
So close, all those 4s.
Ouch.
Never mind.
That's so close.
That will be 1 hit against 3 hits. Yeah. So then we add in the supports. So it would be you get a support and I get a support. We have got to do the save, but we don't do that yet actually. So I've got to save 3 hits, needing 5s because they are not such good cavalry. So I need 3 hits, and it might be that I lose something for being. I've got 3 to save, needing 5s.
Okay. Oh, you save 1.
So I've got. There will be 2 hits against me, and then you've got to save 1 on a 4.
And I do.
Of course. So then we add in the supports. We'll do it, even though you would get 1 for an extra point for this when we're working out the combat result, and I will get 1. So I have lost. So I will have to do a break test, and it says test if losing a melee, test if defeated in hand-to-hand combat, and the supporting unit will also have to test.
Okay.
This is history repeating itself.
And I like it. Okay.
Excess casualties? No, they're just shaken. Disordered? Yes, so -1. Suffered casualties? No, so I'm basically -1. Oh. So 7 or more, hand-to-hand, cavalry. If the unit is cavalry, the unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation, at all times avoiding contact with the enemy. If unable to comply, the unit becomes disordered and may take 2 moves to the rear, blah blah blah. If unable to comply with the further requirements, no. So I can go back, I fall back, 1 full move.
Yep.
Through these guys. Or did it say displacing them?
Okay, so the American cavalry have fallen back, but the British, they are shouting tally-ho. They're loving it. Tally-ho! We are going to do a sweeping advance and move forward into the next lot of cavalry and take on Grey Wolf again.
So I cannot do anything in response because this unit doesn't even have the option of shooting. And they are disordered, so they can't counter-charge. So we immediately go into another round. So
okay, so we've both got 6 dice again. I've got the sweeping charge, and because I'm charging, I will be hitting on 3s, and George will be hitting on 5s because he's disordered and not charging. So come on, 3s. We need a good roll again. Is that 3, or should I re-roll it? Let's re-roll it. 4 hits.
Just the 4. So 4 potential hits. Now I've got 6 dice hitting on 5s. So what we need is, 6 sixes.
2, that's not bad though. Not
Doesn't
4.
do anything with a
No.
disorder. So I've got to save 4. My saves are on, I think it's just straightforward, isn't it? Yeah. 4 4s required.
What?
So you hit me with 3, and then you've got to save 1 on 4.
You hit twice, didn't you?
Oh, you've got to save twice on 4. Oh, no. So 2 to 3. So you win.
Yep.
So we don't need to do the supports, but you would have gained an extra 1 for having the support unit. So that would have made it 4. If we'd have been tied at 3 each, you would have won on supports. So I have lost. I take 2 casualties. already disordered. And then we roll, take a break test. And then you can't do any other sweeping advances.
So there we go. So actually, with the British hitting 3 times, that disordered unit are now shaken. So Grey Wolf has lost both his cavalry units are shaken.
Break test. -1 for being shaken. 9, 8. I think they're okay. I think they've retired. So they get -1 for being disordered. They don't get -1 for being shaken, although I think maybe it's either or. But they're okay. They're going to do exactly the same as these guys. So they're basically going to fall back, full move behind them.
And that will do.
And I think you cannot do another.
No, I agree. That sounds about right, doesn't it? I've got the momentum. I've pushed forward into the.
That was pretty lethal.
And Grey Wolf's going to retire back with them. Tactically withdraw. Well done, Bear.
Yeah, well done, Grey Wolf.
There we go. So Grey Wolf's cavalry brigade have fallen back just in front of their line, and the British are poised to tally ho and go in again.
Untouched.
So, untouched, yeah. So no wounds, not disordered. So let's see what happens in the next turn. Okay, so the Continentals on the left flank for the Americans, they have just held at Lost Hope Church, waiting for the British to advance. Over on the centre here, the regiment have just turned sideways and they've moved across. They're clearly going to form a line with this other regiment ready to receive the British. And then these are all just waiting for the British to advance. So I think you've got your cannon fire, haven't you? I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yes, I have. And I'm hitting on, because it's not a clear target, I'm hitting on 5s.
Yeah, you're shooting at the same target, are you?
I'm going to pound the 63rd Regiment. I don't know who they are. And it's a fluff.
Double miss.
That sounds like a shot for the larger lady.
Yes.
I'm going to double miss. I've got nothing else that's in range, have I don't think?
Nope, I don't think so. The rifles are all, the muskets are out.
Yeah, so we've got musket shooting.
Yeah, so these muskets are just going to shoot at my line behind the fence there.
First fire.
Yep. So you get an extra dice.
You're not clear, so it will be 4 dice needing 5s. Come on. I will offer my wife as a sacrifice to the dice gods.
Obviously work because they're going to keep their disorder.
They'll keep disorder, but...
So 1 save. No, so I take a wound.
Hurrah!
There we go. So that's the end of the Continental shooting. Now over to the British. Okay, the British move. So to start with, I charged my cavalry. They were well up for it and they got the whole move right up into the Continental cavalry. So there's going to be another fight off there. Then with Hamilton's brigade, I split them into regimental orders. The first thing I wanted to get my light bobs up here. So the light bobs have managed to get full 3 moves right up behind to support the cavalry. I managed to get these infantry up against the fence line there, and then these ones just to support the line at the front of the fence. Completely different story on this side. Again, trying to get those light bobs into line so I can face off against the Continentals. And again, they failed. So the whole of the brigade has stopped there. But the British are in quite a good position. We're going to try and fight off that cavalry, and then hopefully we can make an advance next turn. Okay, so British shooting. I'm still out of shots here, only just, but we're not brave enough to move forward until those light infantry get their stuff sorted out and get into line. So the cannon here is just going to fire straight ahead again. Fluffed it last time, but I need a 5, and I get a 6.
Which is excellent.
Perfect. So they're disordered, and you need a 6 to save it for the artillery.
Or a 2.
So you've taken a wound, so that's good. Tally-ho the British. Right, next cannon. So this one is just going to return fire as it did before. into the guys with the yellow flag and the wound. Needing a 2 is not going to be good enough, is it?
No.
Okay, disordered unit here. They're just going to fight the guys with the yellow flag.
So there will be 3 dice. Is that one
First
of theirs?
fire.
Yeah, first fire. 3 dice, 4 dice, hitting on 5s.
Yep. 2 hits.
2 hits it is. 2 to save. And they are Continentals. So they just, it's a straight. You lost the penalty to hit, didn't you? You don't get a morale save, do we, on the cover? So I'm saving on 3s. So I save 1.
Saved 1.
Makes sense.
Yep.
That pushes them up to 2, and they're no longer disordered. At the moment, anyway.
They're on 2 wounds. Okay, so that was the infantry here, was that right?
That was these guys.
Yeah, and then I've got the infantry here. I'm just going to fire at...
This infantry here.
Yes.
So it'll be the same again. 3 dice, needing 5s.
1 hit and disordered.
That disorder's so good.
Especially with my cavalry close.
Can't charge over a fortification. Oh, saved.
But they are disordered. But I meant you attacking me.
Yes. I'm not going to charge your cavalry, technically.
Okay, so that's all my shooting over and done with. Let's do the cavalry melee. Okay, back to the melee for the cavalry. So I'm going to have 6 dice needing 3s, is it?
Yep, and I will have 6 dice needing 5s.
So I've got 4 potentials. Oh,
And
you've got 4
potentials. So this is where it changes. You are saving on 4. You should also have been marked as... Oh, it's different melee. We should have marked you before I was winning. I should have given you another +1. We missed that, never mind. So you're saving your 4 on 4s.
Save 1.
Ooh, so 3 casualties. I'm saving my 4 on 6s. Because they started at 5, shaken, it's 6s. 4 6s coming up. Oh!
Close. Crikey.
So they go 1 over shaken. So, funnily enough, how many casualties did I inflict on you?
3, I think, wasn't it?
So, yeah, so it was...
Okay, so it was 3-1. I've got support, but you can't add support, can you? So
Because it's
becomes,
shaken.
Yeah.
So it's 3-2, but I still technically won that against the odds.
Well, you've got the
But I think
morale of your
I think
troops.
I have to take a test as well as you have to take a test because I've got excess casualties over shaken.
Okay.
So, do you want to do your test first?
Yes.
So you basically you've got 3 casualties, which means you're shaken, I believe. So you are shaken. So you've lost the melee. So shaken is you get -1 for disorder, not for shaken. No excess casualties. So just a straight 2 dice. 6. Okay, hand to hand. Cavalry. The unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation and at all times avoiding contact with the enemy. Once it has moved, the unit becomes disordered. If it's not already so. If unable to comply, the unit so you basically retreat 1 full move backwards and you get a disorder marker.
Okay. Okay, so my cavalry have just ended up 9 inches back here. These ones stay where they are. And
I don't have to test. I don't have to test.
Okay, Bear is in a predicament there, isn't he? He's got some infantry. I know you're shaken, but the infantry are there ready to unload if you can get your cavalry out of the way.
If units are shaken and one of them has got excess casualties, we're declaring them as broken.
Yep. That sounds right.
Okay, you want me to do it? Okay, so basically, previous turn, both units were shaken. They should really have broken at that point, but we're now realised that they were digging in and holding on really well, but now they've gone to an excess casualty. We're going to declare the whole brigade as broken and it will be retiring or leaving the field.
But their last action did push my cavalry back.
That was that grey wolf driving them forward.
One last stand, boys.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, again, this militia brigade is happy to stand its ground. It may get pounded, but it's going to have to stand its ground because it cannot risk going toe-to-toe with these British Grenadiers and lights and whatever. It just won't match them. It can shoot well, but it won't match. I might move them off in a minute for excitement. In the centre here, managed to form this regiment into line, and then Holt went over to this regiment, successfully rallied off one of their wounds, so they've only got one wound.
Yep.
Nothing else happened here. At the start of the turn, as per the broken brigade rules, the cavalry just had to fall back, taking their sad grey wolf with them, and they will be with his tail between his legs, and they'll be going off the table next turn and gone.
However,
that's it.
that does expose Bear to some musket fire.
It does.
Talking of which, it's over to you for firing.
So shall we start with this?
Yes, go on.
So I have first fire. I am disordered, so that would be 4s. That will become 5s, but 4 dice hitting on 5s.
Yes.
And I will get dozens of them.
Ones. That's what we're talking about. Come on, the ones. Ah, look at that. 2 and a disordered.
2 hits, potentially, but disordered.
So now I just need to save those. Oh, got to roll it in. Cocked.
But it would have been a 6. How annoying.
So it's 2.
So disordered. Wow. And 2 casualties.
Yes.
This is... You could have just imagined that. They charge in. They break the brigade.
And then they get a fistful of musket
Face full
fire.
of musketry. Boom. Wish my cannon was pointing the other way now.
So what does that do to that unit? Because they've got 2 wounds, don't they?
They're allowed 3.
Ah, okay.
So they're
Excellent.
fine. I mean, they're not fine. They're disordered and they've got 2 casualties.
Yeah, they might have to.
So they're wavering a bit.
Which is
but
right,
they've done
so-
their job.
Yeah,
The cavalry have kind of done their job, haven't they?
indeed.
They've chased off the rubbish cavalry. Cannon will fire again at this disordered unit. It's
Yeah.
within 9, so I get 2 shots, but they are obscured, so it's 2 shots needing 5. And 2 6s. Oh, 1 hit
5.
potentially.
So I need
Saving
a
on a
6.
4. Oh yes, no, yeah. It's actually a 5 or 6 because you're behind cover.
Ah, there you go. And I've got 5.
So, boom. And now, this infantry, we can fire at them, can't they?
Yes.
No first fire, because they've had it. So it'd be 3 dice, hitting on 5s.
Oh, I saw it for a second. So 1 potential.
Saved.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
Come on, the British.
Yeah, you better get your acting gear and get over there and stick the bayonet in.
Yes. I just need my lights on this right flank to sort themselves out.
Kill their
So
families
nothing
as well.
else is in range now, is it?
No.
Right. So on that cherry note, over to the British.
So
Okay, so with the British, we have faltered a bit. Again, these light infantry on this flank failed to get into line. I might have to bring my commander across. In fact, I think I will. 24 inches is going to come across here. So Kipling,
yeah, no problem.
he's going to come right across over to here, and he's just going to be ready to give them the you-know-what to get into line, because I need to get moving and get forward. Just here, I held, but the infantry on this side, I just got them to snap back into line, ready to move and start shooting at the Americans there. So not much movement for me, but I can do some shooting. So let's see what happens. Okay, so first up, I've got my infantry here, just returning fire at those infantry again. 3 shots.
3 shots, needing
5 is it?
Oh!
2 and a disordered. Good shooting, boys.
2 potential hits. British fire discipline. You don't want 2. Oh. So, because I'm behind the wall, I'm saving on... Bloody hell. I'm saving on 3s.
Saved 1.
But
Heading in the right
disordered,
direction.
But disordered. Although, it makes it harder to hit you.
So then this unit here are just going to fire at the ones with the yellow flag again.
It's exactly the same.
And your commander's attached, isn't
Leading
it?
fives. He is.
One
Yep.
potential.
But unless it's excess hits, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, you
they
save
love
it. Cannon into that same unit. Is it one dice or two from there? I can't
It
remember.
is one dice because he's just slightly over the 9. Nope. Useless.
This cannon again
Yeah,
into
this
the
keeps hitting
infantry.
them off. One dice on a 4.
No, he misses again. And that is the end of the British shooting.
No melee.
No.
American
There we go.
move. So a whole brigade. So I'm doing, well, the cavalry have retreated off the table as a broken brigade. Grey Wolf has popped up to Blueberry Hill to observe the battle from afar. Possibly find a thrill. Who knows? These guys have not moved. These guys have not moved. I'm going to have very limited. I was very tempted to bring the militia forward to get slaughtered, but we've got time to hold yet. So we're going to just go on to firing.
Yes.
So these must be in range of. Oh, they're not. You see, not the centre, are they? They're out of range. They're out of range. So the cannon will fire at this unit again.
Yes.
Smoke off. So they're just in 2 dice range, but you are behind Evall. So it's 2 dice needing 5s. Come on.
Come on, the ones. Oh, you get it.
Oh, got the 6. It's a good one.
And I save it by
Well-
disordered again.
But you cowardly British. You're not going to move.
Oh, I will do, but you've just...
Jinxed it.
Yes.
So, boom. And this infantry will also fire at them. Of course, we still have hope. So it'll be 3 dice needing 5s. So 1 potential hit. You're already disordered. Ooh,
And they go up to 2.
massively climbing to 2. I think they're just 3s, aren't they? Before they're shaken. It's me. Over to you. Any disorder I take off, don't I?
Yes, so there we go, over to the British. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so the British move. Over on the right, I managed to get my light infantry into line, and I've pulled the line round to the side. So I'm trying to do a bit of a push on this flank to outnumber him and not be all up against his guns. On the left flank, I managed to take one of the wounds off of the cavalry, so they're now back in shape. Hopefully I can get the disordered off after this. And then the lights, well, this infantry unit here formed into line. I then tried to move this one forward, but unfortunately I failed. So we are stuck where we are, and it's now going to be some British shooting. Okay, so these ones are out of range. These ones here are going to take a shot at the infantry with the green
So
flag.
3 dice needing 5s.
Okay, nothing.
Fluffed.
Then the next unit, which is here,
3
they're fighting
dice
the yellows.
needing 5s.
I get 1 and a possible disordered.
Well, you've got a disordered and a possible 1.
Yes.
Ah. It was a 6, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because you were disordered. It's fine. It would have been the 6 to hit, which you got. And then to save. No.
So I've gone back up to 2.
And they can only take 3, so they're not as tough as the British.
Then my cannon into them again.
Yeah, 1 dice needing more than 1.
Not that. Okay, cannon into the same guys ahead.
Yep.
So the next cannon.
Yeah, 1 needing 5. Oh, it's a disorder. Can I
And a
save it?
potential.
No. So, what's their stamina? Oh, pretty weedy these militia. Just make sure that doesn't take them to that's over to boring me.
There we go. So over to the Continentals.
Yeah, talking through.
Okay.
So my whole line has basically stayed put. I moved the commander here so that he can try and rally that off if they get out of a disordered status and maintain out of a disordered status. And Holtz again has rallied these guys here and taken one of their wounds off.
Okay, and you're keeping General War Dog where he is, at the back.
General War Dog. General War Dog. He's going to move back this way because he might be needed over here.
To you. To me.
He's
back again.
He's busy. He's a busy old war dog.
Right, so now it's American shooting.
It's American shooting. On it?
Yeah, so the cannon's going to keep
2 dice.
pounding.
2 dice, needing 5s. Come on.
No.
Oh, it's a complete
That's what I needed.
Complete width. No, I might still be able to do it. 3 dice from these, needing 5s. You don't want a disorder, do you?
No.
What don't you want?
Disorder.
Missed.
That's
completely.
it. The British can move,
Oh,
finally.
It feels like they're gearing up. And that's it. It's all my shooting.
Excellent. Right, over to the British. Tally ho.
Any disorders? No, done it.
Excellent. Right.
Chalks away.
British move. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Here we are. The British are starting to move. So the light infantry on this side managed to get a good move. They've gone up 1 move. We're going to open fire on those in the open. The Grenadiers got 1 move over the fence and have just got in range. Unfortunately, these ones here blundered. Had to add a re-roll from Kipling, but they felt that as well. So they are still just wondering which direction they're going. Then, in the centre, everyone took 1 move forward, 45 degrees. We've got over the fence. We're in a good line. We are in a good position to start attacking the Continental line.
Future Confederates.
Yeah, maybe. And then, because it's a brigade order, these guys here have moved 45 and a whole move. Now, you'll notice the cavalry have gone. I did 3 moves and managed to wheel them around the hill, and they are coming up behind. They are in a very good position, and Bear has got them behind the Continental line, ready to make their advance. What will the Continentals do? But before that, I've got some shooting. So let's have a look and see what happens. Right, so first up, it's going to be these guys. They have got first fire. So it's going to be 4 dice. It's not within point blank, is it? So it's just going to be
straight 4s.
On 4 dice. So let's see what I get. 2 hits. Potentially.
Important disorder.
And a disorder.
And if these had been crappy militia, they'd have to test first time I take a casualty. But I didn't make them the world's worst. Right, so I've got to save 2 hits, saving on 5s because they are militia.
Yep. Oh.
So I saved 1, and the other dice was cocked. So 1 casualty.
And disordered. Next up. My Grenadiers, first fire straight ahead.
So they firing with 4 dice, hitting because it's a war on 5s.
Nothing. So my amazing unit.
Overpaid.
Yes.
Too busy whitening their hair or something.
Indeed.
Powdering their wigs.
But let's have a go with the cannon. Back to the unit there in front.
Yeah, 1 dice hitting on 5.
Nope. Oh, I'm whiffing my shots. This cannon,
they did all right.
Back into the yellow flagged unit.
Yeah.
Or...
So that's 1 shot, 5s.
No, the cannon's not working out for me.
Now, this is the big one. So, 3 shots, 5s. You're aiming at this unit, yeah?
Yeah. 1.
1 potential.
You saved
Hang
it.
on. Yes, and I'm behind a wall, so yes, I'm saved.
Then I've got the next line. Into the blues.
Yes, so it'll be 3 shots hitting on 5s.
Got the disordered and 1 potential.
It's not a lot of good shooting though, is it for you?
No.
4 down to 3
But
because
they are
they're behind a
disordered.
wall. But they are disordered, but they did save.
And then I've got this last unit here that does have first fire.
You're going to fire at the same unit, obviously. So that'll be 4 dice
Is that
hitting on
small
5s.
unit?
Oh, for 3 dice, hitting on 5s. Because it's a small unit. 1 potential.
Come on, I need to get a wooden gun.
We're going to shrug it off. We're going to shrug it off in a moment.
Yes, you do. Look at that. That puts you in quite a good position now. There we go. So that is the end of the British firing. Now back to probably the American firing.
Now I've got to try and do some manoeuvres to worry about your cavalry.
Yes, you
Issue a
have.
follow me or
Go on.
issue a follow me order. Holtz is going to issue a follow me order. Try to this regiment here. If he gets it, passes his 8, he can give them 3 orders and go with them.
And he gets his 8.
Skin of his teeth. Shut up.
But they
Dad.
did it.
So he joins them, and then he's going to about face, which is 1, and he's going to move. Well, he's not going to do all of it. He's going to move over here.
Sounds right. There we go. So that regiment formed line up in front of my cavalry.
It was a lucky response, because if I hadn't
Those
got it,
dastardly Americans.
fiendish, underhand
Fiendish.
trick. Not like riding your cavalry all the way around Blueberry Hill and trying to come at me from behind.
Yes.
Right, okay, so he achieved that, and that's the first time I've done a follow me without it being a disaster for a while. So, things are happening. On this flank, I have successfully, on a re-roll, General War Dog, got them to advance into shooting range. He's a good man. He's backwards and forwards, but he's doing good work.
He's done his job.
Here, I issued a follow me order, as we've already seen, and swung these guys round the rear, having successfully got that to confront the lots of cavalry that are in my face here. Other than that, I do believe it just be shooting.
Yes, and lots of it.
Yes, well, we'll start here, shall we? Militia here are going to fire at your lights in front of them. If they were in skirmish order, there would be an unclear target, but they're not. I know what they're going to do next turn. So I want to hurt the buggers.
Yes.
I want to disorder them. So I get 3 dice. They're in the open, hitting on 4s. There is no minus for disorder, or is there? I think there is. I should remember that.
Okay, so needed
Regiment.
5s.
Fire!
Oh, look at that. You get your disorder.
But you get a chance to take that off next turn. Because they're
Do I
elite.
save? I do.
So this disorder, next turn, the beginning of your turn, you can shake it off on a
Let's hope so, eh?
4+, and the way you roll dice, it's bound not to happen. Bound to happen. Okay. These guys, priority-wise, I do believe they have to fire at them because they are the closest target within arc.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'd have been firing at them. So it's 3 dice, hitting on 4s. So I've got 1 hit, plus 2 hits, potentially. Save 1. Unless their morale is 3. It is.
So I save them both, is that right?
You saved them both.
That's what we like to
It's
see.
morale 3+, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Light
Tough
infantry
guys,
and
you see.
grenadiers.
Tough
I needed that.
hombres. And then we've got this heroic group here who will be firing at.
Yes.
So it's just 3 dice. There's no disorder, so it's 3 dice hitting on 4s. 3 6s coming up. Should never have said it. Complete whiff.
That's because they're facing off against those bright, shiny.
They don't like the look of them tall grenadier
Grenadiers.
caps.
Yes.
Shouldn't really have those hats. They're the wrong hats. Never mind. I like them.
They look good.
I don't think they were wearing them at this stage. Right, they can't do anything. This regiment, who are disordered, will fire at them. So it'll be 3 dice, hitting, because they're disordered, on 5s, yeah?
Yep.
So I've got a disorder, potential hit.
And I get the 6 and save it.
Still,
They are disordered.
they can still shoot, but it does make the shooting harder. The cannon is going to
Yeah.
fire at your unit with the 63rd or whatever they were. 63rd Infantry are going to take a pasting.
They are from that cannon.
It's not in short range. It's two dice needing 4s. As we've broken cover. Got 1.
This is the time I need another 6. Ah, get a 5.
5 will do. Oh! I think, no, you're right. It needed to be a 6 because they're in the open. So that goes to a 3. But no disorder. And they can shrug off that. They're not even shaken yet. 3 shots at 4 at you now.
Yeah.
So this could be, this could take you over.
This could be important.
Ah! Boom! Missed.
I needed that. That feels like
that was a good one for me to miss because I could have shaken them.
Right. Well, there we go. That is the Continental shots. So over to the British and their move.
It's all happening.
It is. Okay, along with the British. So over here, the Grenadiers have just wheeled round to try and take that regiment out that are in the open. They've exposed themselves slightly, but that's where we are. I tried to remove the disordered for this elite line, but they didn't remove it. They're just where they are, but the other line unit managed to put up behind. Then over on this side, I managed to get all 3 of my units moving up, right up against the Americans. And then just over here, the cavalry went for a full-on charge, tally-ho, and didn't do it. So there, you need to give them a stern talking to so they do it next turn after they've probably had a volley and first fire from the Americans. But before that, we've got some shooting. So first of all, these guys are just going to shoot straight ahead. 3 dice, needing 4s. Come on. 1 hit, and they're going to keep the disordered.
I should have taken that off.
Yeah, but
It's back on. But not anywhere else, have I? Did you just put that on?
no.
So, I've got to save 1 hit. And they're getting very, very fragile now. And they fail, because they need a 5, being militia. Which is where they pay the price for not being disciplined. Brave, but not very disciplined.
Okay, the Grenadiers.
Are going to unleash hell.
Yes.
I think it's still just 3 though, isn't it?
What am I needing with the Grenadiers?
3 hitting on 4s.
Says 2 hits.
And
Oh,
rapidly,
don't save these. Don't save
rapidly
these.
save. I need to save them both, or they go shaken. But excess
Double
is what
one,
you want.
snake eyes.
Save 1, because they are a 5 save.
Yeah.
So they go 2 shaken, but it's not excess.
No.
Are you within 9 now?
Well, let's see with my cannon.
Yep. So 2 dice, hitting on 4s. Oh,
I said snake
out of
eyes.
ammo. No. Different game.
My face dropped there. What? These cannons are not doing particularly well, are they?
Well, they weren't as good.
No.
It's quite true. They were not as good.
So this next cannon, I can't shoot at the guys with the yellow.
Yes,
yet.
you can.
Is it obscured or?
No, you've got a gap. I think you could hit them. They're going to get the obscured for the wall, and so you're going to be hitting on a 5.
Let's give it a go. No, got a 4.
There's still, it's an open end. It's not like you're firing through a gap. You have actually got a legitimate target.
So next is the line here, straight into the infantry in front of them.
3 dice. It would be 5s, but you're close range, so it's 3 dice hitting on 4s.
Okay, come on 4s. Oh, I'm whiffing. Missed everything.
Oh, is it time to come over that wall?
Yes, I'm going to have to charge soon, but...
No, me.
Oh. Okay, the next line, into the blueies.
Yeah, so that's 3 dice hitting on 4s.
There we go, that's better. So there's disordered and 2 possible.
I'm saving on 3 because I'm behind a wall. So it does give you a big advantage, really. Save them both.
Oh, you needed
Both
that.
disordered. I did.
And then I've got my unit on the hill.
Can't charge over the wall at you though. Oh yes, unit on the hill. So that'll be 2 dice because they are a small unit hitting on 5s because of the wall.
And the disordered?
6.
Yes.
So it's already disordered, but another hit, potentially saving on 3. Saved it!
Oh, they're loving it, aren't they? They're afraid.
Determined. They're doing their bit for the rest of the army behind them. Don't
Well,
want
there
to
you
be
go.
outflanked.
The British fire wasn't as good as I thought it might have been. So the British might be a little bit vulnerable here. They're out in the open trying to push the advantage. But let's see what happens with the Continentals. Oh, so here we are. George has just gone hell for leather. He got this shaken unit here and he was going to go right up to point blank with the Grenadiers, toe to toe, showing what their Continentals
With a
are made of.
shaken militia unit.
Yeah, shaken militia unit can give it to the Grenadiers, and he blundered. So let's see what he gets. 4. He's hoping for a full-on charge.
To the right. I move to the right, to a position to its own right, making one move to its own right.
There we go.
So what they've actually done is
Got out of the
they've
way.
said, I'm not going anywhere near them. Let's go this way. So that actually worked out.
Yeah.
Plausible.
Well, they've got out of the firing line, haven't they, really?
Oh, I could have re-rolled, but I'm happy with that. I won't re-roll. So he's finished giving his orders.
So that was the blunder.
This brigade, I blundered. I could have re-rolled the blunder. I didn't think of that at the time, but then I committed myself to the blunder, so I did it. And actually, it made sense because this unit that's shaken said, we don't want to move closer to the... In fact, we want to get out of their way. So they moved to the side. They're still within shooting arc, or shooting arc of the artillery. I think not. But they could still shoot at them. But we could have had a situation where they charged them. That would have been quite nice.
Yep.
Here, this unit managed to move forward to within shooting range of these guys, but not in close range, to be fair. Holt then ordered this regiment to swing round to try and get some fire on them. It was out of range, and it was he needed to get 2 moves because of the problem with the fences. He only got 1 move, so they're not actually in shooting range, which would have been very nice. So other than that, it's just shooting.
Yes, I think the British are going to feel it now.
So
Let's
the start
see what
here,
happens.
regiment will be firing 3 dice. Normally would need 4s, but they are disordered, so it's 3 dice needing 5s. And if we can start hitting home with some of this, we might be able to blunt them. So, we've got the disorder and the potential hit. Save the hit,
Yeah, but they are disordered.
which they might be able to shake off.
Let's hope so. They didn't
You
last
can
time.
just pass through.
I probably will.
These guys have to fire at their closest,
Yes.
which I think is probably,
Grenadiers.
it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be firing 3 dice, needing 4s at the Grenadiers. Oh, major
They've seen
whiff.
They've seen the fumble by the shaken unit, and they're too busy looking when they're shot.
Yeah. Now these guys,
Are they in or are they out? Oh, they're in, aren't
they are in.
Yeah.
So it's 3 dice, needing 4s against the Grenadiers. Are we going to whiff again?
That looks like a pretty good shot to me.
So that's 3 potential hits and disorder, saving on 3s.
I saved 1.
So take 2 hits and a disorder.
Oh, that's hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, take that.
So nothing decisive yet, but the British are feeling it being in the open, aren't they?
Feeling the pain. They're in range. So 3 dice. They are shaken, so it'll be 3 dice needing 5s. Grenadiers taking a pounding.
Yeah, they're caught
They're
between
used to
3
it.
units, aren't they? Nothing.
Could have been causing some pain.
Yes.
They can't shoot. Right. There's a lot of shooting. Oh, so we've got
Cannon, point blank.
3 dice with the cannon.
Yep.
Hitting on, I think it's just a straight 4s, isn't it? I don't think you get any
I think
oh,
that
point
unit-
blank. Get a plus, so 3 dice hitting on 3s. 3 possible hits.
3 6s, here we come. 1 6.
Save 2. So you become shaken and 1 over.
Oh.
So you will have to take a test.
that 2 dice?
We'll do it in a minute.
Okay.
Do them all in one. Because we might yet cause more damage. Because they've only got one target, these guys.
Yeah.
So these infantry will fire 3 dice at close range.
Yeah.
Needing 3s.
I've got to get up there though.
1 hit. 1 hit. Saving on that. Not on that.
They are gone, aren't they?
So they're shaken +2. They might pass their test.
They might.
They're good boys. That is, but then, you know, you've got a unit behind that's fresh.
They've got cannon and the whole unit firing at them, so that's what you expect.
At very close range.
Yes.
And these guys will fire at this regiment because it's closest to them. It's 3 dice. It would be needing 4s, but because they're disordered, they need 5s because I don't think they're within 3.
No, I don't think they are.
Nope. It's me cup. Don't want my hands to be involved in jinxing them. So 3 dice needing 4s. Oh! Jinx, as Velma would say.
Then you're
Now.
firing against the cavalry.
Yep, I'm not at close range.
Stay strong, Blair.
So I have
Stay strong.
first fire. Come on, Bear, you can brush this off.
So 4 dice.
4 dice hitting on 4s. Oh! 1 potential hit and a disorder. So 1 hit takes them
You
to
needed
2.
disorder, didn't you? So there we go. Lots of firing from the Americans, and now the break test for the
63rd Regiment.
63rd Regiment.
So 63rd Regiment up against it, receiving excess fire from that. So it is not disordered. Excess casualty is 2, so it's 2 dice minus 2.
And I got hit by cannon. 7.
Becomes 5. Shooting. The unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation and at all times avoiding contact with the enemy. Once it has moved, the unit becomes disordered if it's not already so. If unable to comply, the dog will be sacrificed to a demon.
And I quite like that because it saves me having
Perfect.
to move them out of the way.
Nature's done its thing.
Yeah, so let's move them back.
Well, if you break this broken 2 brigades out of 3, which is breaking the
Okay,
army
so the
really.
British have had a kind of okay move, so I haven't done my cavalry yet, have I? Okay, so the cavalry have just done a passage of lines on initiative. They've just charged into the American troops there, but they do get to have reactionary fire. So, what do you need?
3 hitting on 3s.
Oh, this could hurt. But it doesn't. Oh my god.
A
There,
complete
you
whiff.
are an awesome commander. Look at that.
A complete
this could,
whiff.
This
So,
could.
bang.
This could help.
So we
just break
will have,
this.
because they were already on 2, they were 1 away from being shaken. So we'll come back to that.
We will. So let's start on this side because actually what I've managed to do,
You can't shoot into a combat.
I've kind of ruined it for myself because I brought these guys over to enfilade into those, but now I'm in combat I can't, but they're there to support. These guys on initiative moved up. This unit here is going to go for the cannon. These guys are going to go for those, and we're just going to shoot as much as we can to see what happens. Over on this flank, I managed to shake off one of the wounds, and I'm hoping I can do some damage to the shaken unit there. And then again, I had a passage of lines. I've got a fresh unit there. They've got first fire into those. So let's see.
And if you
what happens.
shake 2 units, that brigade will break.
So this could be just what the British needed to get this
Could win the
flank.
game.
Could win the game. So let's see what happens. Right, so starting on this side, 4 dice, needing point blank.
Because you've got your first fire, 4 dice, point blank, 4 dice needing 3.
Oh, I like those odds. Come on. I get 2.
2. Well, that would be enough, but you have disordered me. If I don't say, and I'm saving on 5s. So,
Come on.
hang on. I'm disordered. Does that make it harder for me to save? Remember, such a basic thing.
Oh, and you save one of them.
Save 1. Go shaken though,
Yes.
which breaks the brigade. But we'll see it through.
Yes, I will.
For that, theoretically, break that brigade.
Okay, next up, We have measured, and the grenadiers are able to fire at that shaken unit.
Yep, so it'll be 3 dice hitting on 4s.
That's 2 potentials and a disordered.
Oh, so 2 excess hits and a disorder.
That's what I needed.
That looks like curtains for that brigade.
Okay, I've got my cannon here.
You firing at them? They don't. Oh, they don't. If it's over half range, which it isn't, you have to shoot at them.
Okay, so
it's 2 dice hitting on 3s. Boom!
yes,
Saving
that's
on
one.
6. No, so they're 3 excess.
Okay, first up, I think these are all going to fire. First fire into the cannon.
So 4 dice hitting on, right, you're at close range, so it would be 3s. And behind a wall, 4s, it will make it 5s because it's counting as an open wall. So
Okay.
4 at 5s. 1.
Potential.
You wanted
Not
to kill
what I
it.
wanted, I did.
1 hit. 3 behind a wall. I think it's 1 hit. We'll call it 1 hit because they were so close. Just half the way to killing the cannon.
Then I've got those infantry there. It's just 3 dice this time.
3 dice hitting on. It would be 3s up to. It would be 4s because of but because you've got the close range, it's back to 4s. Did that make sense?
Yes, so that's 2 hits.
2 hits and a disorder. They're behind the wall, so that's enough. And we're
Okay.
saying we're not counting the wall because of this. We're both firing across the wall, so it's 2 hits.
You sure?
Yeah, with disorder.
And we're
Doesn't
doing
really matter, does
the
it?
cavalry charge.
Because it's all going to be over.
Okay, now for the charging British. They've had such a good time so far. Come on, Bear, you can do it. I get 6 dice. I need 3s because I'm charging. You've got 6 dice in reply, needing 4s. So I have got 4 hits.
I've got 2, but we have to look at saving. So I've
Yes.
got to save 4. They save on 4s. Save 1, so it's 3 hits.
And then I've got to save 2. Which I don't.
So, but you win the combat. However, so I took 3 hits, which takes me to shaken. You took 1 hit. No, 2 hits. That takes you to shaken. Plus 1. Yeah?
Yeah.
But you won the combat because you have support and you had more, you killed more of me, and you had 1 plus 1 for the support. So you win the combat, so I have to take a break test. I take a break test. I get 9. I think there's no other minuses. Per excess casualty. I'm not disordered. Suffered casualties from artillery. No. 9. 7 or more hand to hand.
Okay, so 9 for the infantry. They are going to hold their ground.
And that cavalry unit will also stay there.
Indeed. There we go.
So we're locked in combat.
We are indeed.
However,
so there we go. That was the end of the British turn. So
which is also the end of the game.
yes.
Because this brigade has 2 shaken. 50% of the brigade is shaken. So these guys, this brigade is considered broken by the British. We've already lost a cavalry brigade. All we are left with is 1 brigade. That is the end of the game. The Americans will be falling back.
And I've taken my objective of getting
You've
the
driven them
flank.
off and you're coming in on the flank with relatively few casualties.
Okay, let's have a quick debrief. There's a victory to the British, but let's have a quick chat about it and see what we thought. Well, there we go. So what a battle. I think I quite like this, actually. Bit of a change from our ACW playing the American War of Independence. Yeah, the British were quite a strong force, weren't they? But actually, do you know, the centre here, they struggled with that cannon. You were firing quite well. And
just couldn't shake enough units to break that brigade.
And actually, my misfortune, a bit like your misfortune when they moved to the side, these ones being able to get them to move back, allowed because they moved back. The other unit
Yes.
got into the front and had the good firing.
Passage of lines was forced upon you,
Yes.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
No, so yes, I think that was a fair outcome. The militia are weak
Yeah.
because that saving on a 5+ rather than a 4+ puts them in quite a bad position. Again, perhaps I shouldn't have charged these guys forward. The British are very resilient, even taking a lot of casualties, and I think it was the accurate result, and I think it was reasonably balanced.
Yes, and I think for me, man of the match has to go to Bear. His cavalry charge, although you had the cavalry charge around here, which could have gone well.
It was a glorious thing.
Yeah, maybe not so.
Didn't work.
Yeah. But managing to get round there, I think if it could have just pushed that infantry unit back, that would have
I
been
think the
amazing.
quote initially was, "Where are the enemy?" "There, sir." "Oh, your enemy?" So we didn't move far enough, and then we got shot, and then we got charged, and then we got routed, and that didn't go well. But it was glorious.
Yeah, and do you know what? I really like this. This is it's really good playing a different era. So a bit earlier than the ACW, but this is really good. Some nice colourful figures on the table. Really good board again. Well done for that. Thank you. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Don't run with sharp objects.
No, make sure they're pointing out, not in. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, please like, give us a thumbs up, share, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you all again for the next one.